Hi guys, Helen Lingard here. Now I want to open this video by asking you what's holding you back. Now I asked you this question because I discovered something a few months ago. I'd been recommended the book Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Excuse me, the kids are playing next door. And several people recommended it to me, and so I eventually got it. And I was looking through at my ailments. I've got some minor ailments, and one of them was a real aha moment. Several years ago, I went through a very stressful time. In the space of 6 months, I lost one of my sisters, sudden death, and my job was disestablished. And I don't remember much about it, but I do remember going back to my desk and having a buzzing in my ear. And then I travelled back to the UK to grieve with my family, and I remember picking the phone up, but I couldn't hear my right ear. Anyway, that happened several years ago, and I've lived with it, and it's just been one of those things. And I joke about it with a friend of mine because we're both partially deaf, and we joke about, how people tell us things, and we go, sorry, what's that you said? What's that you said? What's that? And by about the sixth time we say, oh right, yeah, and we're nodding, we don't know what they've said, but you have to laugh at these things. Anyway, I was picked up Louise Hay's book and look up partial deafness or hearing loss, and it says feeling of not being heard or not hearing or not, Now, a couple of things. I have felt my whole life until very recently of not being heard. I always felt nobody was listening to me, nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. And often I'd be talking and people would talk over me. And because I was so quiet and unassuming back then, not now, I would think, oh, what's going on here? So I always felt like I was not being heard. So when I saw that partial deafness was it, I was like, oh my goodness. So that was really quite incredible for me. And then on going to the UK, I've talked to various family and friends, and they've been talking to me. They've been just saying things and doing things, and I've been thinking, Louise Hay's book comes in handy here. So I've gone back and I've looked at what ailments they've had, and it's directly related to the way they behave. So now this can be a hard pill to swallow, but I recommend you look at her book. It's based on Christian Science, which says that everything's wrong with us is because we're holding on to emotions that we need to release, forgiveness and anger, all that sort of stuff. And it can be a hard pill to swallow, I agree there, but if it can heal your life, if it can change your life, if it can make you happier and just by letting things go, isn't it worth it? So do look up Louise Hay's book, Heal Your Life, because it is just amazing. I mean, when I realised that partial deafness was about not being heard or not listening, because often, well, not often so much these days, but in the past, I've always thought, what am I missing here? I'm missing something. And that's, again, feel you're not listening to things, you're not hearing things. So it's quite incredible. So that's all for today. I'd love to hear your comments. Do share if you know anybody this could relate to, or somebody could resonate with this, because it's so worth sharing. It's so good. Connect with me on Facebook, check out my blog, workwithhelenlinger.com, and I'll speak to you soon.